my gosh, it's not just a passion project anymore. There's 10,000 people following.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel, everybody. And today we're going to be doing a sit-down video where we're going to be speaking and doing a year in review. So currently we are in January of 2026 and we're going to look back at this whole past year of us creating content and living in Australia, seeing some milestones that we hit, some amazing kind that we managed to experience in 2025, reflecting back. Maybe you missed a few, so we might mention some that you want to go and check out after watching this video. But then also at the end of the video, we're going to round up with what are our future plans, or modern plans, or present plans for 2026, this year upcoming ahead, keeping you in the loop. And we thought it might make an interesting video.
This is something that we wanted to do like New Year, but because we were on the trip and we've just got back home, we're like, let's stay when we get home and review like the year, like see what it is that we've done and achieved. And it's crazy to think that this channel started just for family.
We say it a lot, I think, on the channel, but it genuinely was just for close family, and then it's become a thing of its own. So yeah. Really
it is cool. Really, really cool. I think what we should do is go through month by month and just see what we kind of achieved, some milestones or something that we did. January, we'll start at January. And to think, this time last year in January, we were sitting on 3,000 subscribers.
That's crazy.
New Year's Eve, I think. Was it New Year's Eve last? Yeah, last New Year's Eve.
New Year's Day, January 1st, 2025, we actually passed the milestone on New Year's Day. Which is crazy. To the day we passed 3,000.
I remember we were with some friends on the Gold Coast and we're all sitting around the laptop and we're like, oh my gosh, you're so close. Oh my gosh, we passed it.
I think it's in the video. I think I refresh it and it's actually in the video.
Oh.
Could flash that up on screen in that video. I think we passed that milestone January 1st.
I love that. I do
cool.
love that. That was so cool. I remember me and you sitting chatting and saying like, oh, if we ever get to like, imagine having 10,000, having 10,000.
It's crazy. I think we started the channel looking at kind of 10,000 as an idea. We watched creators who had 10,000. The idea of within this year surpassing and going further than that, like now 17,000.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that we're at that point of creators that we were watching before we started it. So yeah, it's a bit of a pat on the back moment to kind of reflect and look at that and go, wow. This is pretty cool.
And to thank these guys, because if you guys didn't watch, we wouldn't still be making these videos. So
why do you watch?
Why do you watch?
What's going on?
What brings you to the channel?
I think...
I think I know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think we should summarise some more stuff that we did in January as well.
Love that.
A statistic that I don't have, but I would love to see, is how many mosquitoes have actually bitten me this year. That would be probably a bigger number than videos created, because honestly... I must taste like an all-you-can-eat buffet.
So, going back to January, we also went to our first soccer match. That's football, but I'm saying soccer for the Aussies. But football soccer match, we went to our first ever one in Australia. I remember that being like, whoa, this is crazy. It's so different. Really family-friendly. Totally different to what we have in the UK.
The fact that that was ticked off. Love it.
Another thing was experienced like little bits of lightning, a lot of rain, but we experienced our first like tropical storm in January.
Yes.
We'd arrived in like late August. So yeah, January was the first time and I remember us just being in the garden and being like, I was so scared. You were in awe. You were like, oh.
I loved it, but the bellowing sound of thunder and seeing the lightning light up the sky is completely different to storms that we would have in the UK. Obviously, the UK is not a subtropical or tropical climate, so it just
Wait, is it not?
Not when I left. maybe stuff's changed in the last year or so, but yeah, incredible to experience. Move on to February, and February was an amazing month, as that was a month where we took our first trip over to Stradbroke Island, and on that vlog itself was the first time that we saw a wild koala. We didn't just see one, we saw multiple, but the experience of actually seeing a koala in the wild was definitely a bucket list moment when you're moving over to Australia, something that I wanted to complete and see and do. And I managed to do it in Stradbroke, so that was in February, an incredible experience and one that I will never forget. And along with a life-changing moment of seeing a koala, another life-changing moment that we experienced in February was going to a Bunnings for the first time. But we have still never had a sausage sizzle from Bunnings. And I know this is an essential thing that Aussies have asked us to do, but we may have future plans for an upcoming video where we're going to go and try one. But for now, we're virgins to the Bunnings sausage sizzle. But in February, we went in and we checked out the store for the first time and had a very good time. And again, that's on the channel, and we can look back at that and have a laugh. when we're now experienced, well-versed in the Bunnings aisles.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, you're looking for garden appliances?
83.
83? How big's the Bunnings?
Have you seen the size of Bunnings?
I think they only go up to 35.
All right.
That's a big old Bunnings. That's a Bunnings. And then also was one of the biggest videos that we've ever had on the channel. I think it's the second biggest to date. I'm going to say the numbers so that when we look back at this video in a year's time, we can see what our biggest videos were. But that was going to Kmart and experiencing Kmart for the first time in February. And I think it's got 117k views, which is, put that in a stadium, and I was stood in the middle, walking around with a trolley, which is basically what we did. Incredible, insane, can't even fathom that amount of people. So yeah, really, really cool. Not a video that I expect to do well, but they shaped a lot of our content going forward of other shops. So that video was, that and Bunnings were two videos that kind of pioneered the content that we made on the channel, kind of changed the direction of our content. So cool that that was only in February. So much has changed since then. And then on the 27th of February, an amazing moment, and that was our first family member coming out to Australia. I'm not going to hold the mic for too much longer, as it was Cody's mum, Paula, and I think you should give a little bit of a run through on this one.
Yeah, that was like a big moment for not only me, but for Mum. Like, she'd never really been out of Europe. She loved it. Like, she talks about this country so well. She loves it. A few actually did DM us quite recently saying, like, where's Paula up to? We don't really hear much and never got any updates. She's just kind of gone back to her life, cracking on, doing her thing.
You have got to remember as well that we've only done YouTube and content since coming out to Australia. So for a lot of our family, they might get involved when they're here, but the idea of like filming themselves, it can still be a little bit obscure for them to do it when we're not around. I don't know. So it's still odd for us when we're in the street. So they are doing well. All the family who've been out, looking after themselves, cracking on.
But Mum speaks so highly about the place and she already can't wait to like come back. Like, she talks about it every time I speak to her. So you guys, yep, I'm sure she'll be back in the future. She loves this country so much. Moving into March, we actually hit 5,000 subscribers on the 1st of March, which is pretty crazy. I remember this day, we were like, phoned up Diana and we was like, guess what? And she's like, oh my gosh. And we had cake together and we did all sorts. It was just so sweet. Like, you guys are just, you blow my mind that many have joined. But yeah, 5,000, wow. Unreal.
Crazy, in March as well.
And then on the 3rd of March, Mum had been here a couple of days and we experienced our first cyclone. Now, it was set to be a lot bigger than it actually was, but we had to like batten down the hatches, really prepare the house. Mum wasn't even that bothered. Mum's like, I'm just glad I'm out of England. I'm like, Mum, this is really bad. She had no idea how crazy it could have got. But she was like, I'm enjoying my holiday. Everything's good. She was so funny. She just took it all in her stride. It was really quite funny. But yeah, the actual experience for us, we didn't know what to kind of, what's going to be like, what to expect. It was crazy. Little bit, wasn't as crazy as it was supposed to be, but...
I think I wouldn't want to say underwhelming because I'm glad that it wasn't bad.
Of course, yeah.
But we prepped and it didn't get as bad was a good thing. But the main thing was we were prepped if it did get bad. We'd done all the steps so we know if there is that scenario again, not that there has been for 50 years, but who knows what's around the corner. So if it ever does happen again, we're experienced in getting prepared for that stuff.
Moving into April, Mum was still with us, but she actually left early. So on the 2nd of April, we took Mum back to the airport and we actually, as she got on a flight back to the UK, we actually got on a flight to Perth and decided to do like a 5-day trip in Perth. Now, I'm so glad we did because Mum hit me so hard.
It did.
I cried and cried and cried. I think she had such a good time and embraced it so much that it really got to me. And we just had such a good time together. But Perth was like a saviour because it was like a brand new place to explore, and it really took our minds off it. And what a great place Perth is. Like, I absolutely loved Perth so much. We did so much. We did Rottnest and saw the Quackers.
Oh, we did, yeah.
We did Perth City. We did Rockingham. We went down Margaret River for the day. Bustleton was incredible. Bustleton was amazing. Just so much going on, so much diversity in such a small part of Perth that we did see. We are very aware that there's a lot of it we didn't see. We were only there for 5 days, but we have done like a section and got a good taste of it. But 100% we need to go back and go north, from the airport in Perth, 100%, because we just did south. But incredible.
It's a big place, Australia. I found that out. It's a big place. Then, on the topic of April, on the 13th of April, we went to our first rugby league game in Australia, and I believe that was the Sunny Coast Dolphins, and we went with Joel and Captain Smithy. An incredible experience. Fantastic to go and experience a sport that is very prominent in our hometowns, Cody being from Wigan, me from Bolton not so much, but in the north of England, rugby league is so popular, but never a sport that we've got into. But our first time going to a rugby league game, even though it is big in the UK where we're from, was actually on the other side of the world with new friends experiencing a game that we could have seen 5 minutes down the road in the UK, but no. We flew all the way over to the other side of the world and watched it there. And then on the 24th of April, we reacted to Agro, Australia's rudest puppet, and uploaded that video, and I believe that is one of our highest performing videos on the channel as well at the moment as of recording. I believe it's on about 95,000 views, which is astonishing again to think that many people have watched us react to a rude puppet. But yeah, just incredible to think that that is the case, and discovering an Aussie icon that we knew nothing about on camera and having a laugh.
Moving on into May, on the 17th of May in particular, we started our Daintree camper van road trip, and this was for Joe's birthday. This was a big surprise, and there was a series of 14 videos that we actually did within a 2-week period. Joe was editing every single night. I don't actually know how you did it. It was crazy. You were so inspired and so excited. You were so pumped for it, and I'm so glad you did it.
I was a shell of a man at the end of the trip.
You was a shell of a man at the end of the trip, you was, and I'm glad we didn't do it for the recent one that we've just done. But wow, what an experience to go up north. I think the weather was perfect. It was May. It wasn't too humid. We saw wild cassowary and crocs, and just everything, everybody that we met and everything that we did was incredible, and it was always a place Joe wanted to go to. So I thought, right, I'm going to surprise him for his birthday, and that'll definitely be a birthday we'll never forget.
100%.
Like, incredible. I was so glad that I could experience that as well. So yeah, if you've not already seen us go up to the Daintree and Mosman and all the places in between up north from the Sunshine Coast, you need to go and check out those videos. We've had quite a few of you actually say you need to go up north, and I'm like, we've done quite a little bit of the East Coast. There's obviously a lot more we've not done, but go and check them out.
And I do want to say a quick thank you again for that trip. I said it a lot when we were there, but that is one of the best holidays I've ever experienced. Honestly, it was just out of this world, I would say. For me, growing up, always had a fascination with anything rainforest or jungle related, just hyper fixated on that as a child. So to be able to go and spend my birthday in a rainforest was
so fun.
Another big tick. Been a pretty good year.
I think that's why these reviews are really good, because you do forget what you've achieved in a year. It goes so quick, and you're like, wait, hang on a minute, that was in this year? Wow. So on the 31st of May was a huge milestone. We hit 10,000 subscribers. Guys, you blow our minds every time, but like getting to 10,000 for us personally was just like, wow, this is incredible. And there's a lot of you that think that we just do this full time, but we do have to say that we do run a business. We are full-time workers elsewhere, running our own business, and then this is like what we call our hobby. So to reach 10,000 was huge, because it's like, oh my gosh, it's not just a passion project anymore. There's 10,000 people following. Let's take this super serious now, and let's really curate some content that they want to see. So yeah, that was like a big milestone for us to change things up.
And the fact in March, months before, we'd only been on 5,000. So that growth at that point was like jaws on the floor, like, what is happening? This is crazy. Calm down. I can't handle this. Moving on now to June. It was a chilled month. We did a few things, but nothing of major note. But on June 14th, we did actually visit our first Australian agricultural show. Now, this was something that we were told that we would have to go and experience. This was the Sunshine Coast or Nambour agricultural show, but learning about things like fun bags or party bags, I think they're called, but the overall experience of an agricultural show absolutely blew our minds, and then opened us up to go to an even bigger one, which we'll get to later on in our mentions. Then we move on July, and on the 16th of July, we did a reaction video. We discovered another Aussie legend, and that was in fact Russell Coight. An Aussie comedian character, never heard anything about him, and quickly become one of my favourite characters from any kind of Aussie media. Just the actual overall concept behind his character is just, it's my bread and butter. It is something that has me. He's not like an Aussie Mr. Bean, but like I'd say that kind of light-hearted slapstick comedy. It's catered to an obviously an Aussie out in the bush, just Works so well and absolutely love him. And I've watched a lot more of him since watching that video.
Moving on to August, which was a pretty big month for us. August started and we went on a whim to a place called Baker's Delight. We didn't expect anything from that video and you guys loved the hell out of it. You loved it so much. And it was a great spot for bread, but we didn't realise that it didn't really do much else. And it was an interesting spot, but I can understand why you guys liked it. And I noticed at Christmas time, the queues for Baker's Delight in the shopping centres were huge. So yeah, that was an interesting one. On August 11th, we went to Eka and that was incredible. So many of you in the months running up was like, go to Eka, go to Eka, go to Eka. And we were like, we cannot miss. And we actually got the opportunity and got invited by Eka to go to Eka, which was incredible.
So cool.
And it blew our minds. Like we thought the one at Nambour was like pretty good, but this one was like another level.
This was just echelons of seriousness. This was.
We didn't realise it was like in the city. We did it be out in fields and like I don't know. I had like a Glastonbury set up and it's just in the middle of nowhere. Fields. I imagined it being that, and it wasn't. It was through the city, and that really threw us.
Yeah, the idea of it being around the showgrounds, but in between skyscrapers, that really did throw me off. So yeah, still. Such an amazing experience.
And then on the 13th of August, my dad, my brothers and my stepmom arrived and this was incredible. We'd spent so much time with them before we left to move to Australia. So not seeing them on a weekly basis had been pretty tough and literally half of the year, it got me through half the year knowing that they were coming. Like those months running up, I was like, they're nearly here, they're nearly here. And we did 13 videos while those guys were here. We took them to the Gold Coast. We obviously explored a lot of the Sunshine Coast.
Morton Island.
We did that for Dad's birthday and Dad loved it so much. He's a bit like me. He's not like the strongest swimmer, but oh my gosh, he had his snorkel in the water permanently. So much so, the guide was like, is Liam alive?
Is he breathing?
Is he breathing?
Somebody check on Dad.
And he got up and was like, that is just the most incredible experience. And I just loved seeing him love it so much. I thought he'd enjoy it, but he enjoyed it way more than I thought. And
I'm still washing sand out of my ears from that sandboarding as well. So
the sandboarding is a little bit crazy, but yeah, we explored the Gold Coast, the Sunshine Coast, and a little bit of New South Wales because we went to Tweed Heads with them. So that was we squoze a lot in. They only came for just over 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, and we did a lot. We was non-stop, waking up really early for sunrise and just doing so much. They were so up for so much, and yeah, it was so fun.
And then not long after that, on September 29th, my mum arrived to Australia. So it's been, how many family members have met this year? We're so lucky. We know a few other people that have been here for years. We've spoke to them and said nobody has arrived from the UK, from their family, in the whole time that they've been here. Some of these guys have been here like 5-6 years and never managed to get a family member out. So the idea that we've had your mum, and then we had your stepmum, your dad, your 2 brothers, and then my mum this year alone, 6 people. We've been very fortunate, but long may it continue. There's a couple more coming in 2026. Spoilers. But jumping back to my mum, she was here from the 29th of September, pretty much all through October, and just an amazing time. I think we made 15 videos while she was out here, doing all kinds of things, taking her to Woolworths. That was one of the biggest videos when she was here. Crazy. I think it's like 70k views or something now, which is just me and my mum being stupid around Woolworths. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it.
I think everybody just loved your mum's energy. She really embraced the camera, which is a tough thing when you're not used to being on camera.
Good point.
And she did embrace that, and we just had a chill time, and yeah, just you guys loved her. And again, I hope Lindsay comes back for that same reason and we can just explore more this wonderful country, because she just took everything in her stride. I remember the day she got here from the airport and she was just like, good coffee, good beer, just sun. She was like, sun.
My mum,
oh my gosh.
A lot of you might remember that when she arrived, she ran off into the sun to get the sunbeams. And then we went to a cafe and she ordered coffee and a beer at the same time and drank both continuously together. So yeah, amazing, funny times to look back at. We had an absolutely amazing time. Just can't wait to get her back out here and get treating her to some more Aussie experiences.
Then, when Joe's mum left, we moved into November, and on November 3rd, it was a very special moment for us. We launched our merch. So, for anybody that doesn't know, this is our T-shirt. And yeah, we'd always said, a few of you had said to us, when are you going to launch merch? And we were very aware that most YouTubers do it, and we thought, it's got to be right, it's got to be the right thing. We don't just want to put out a random T-shirt. So we wanted to design it, we wanted to find a local provider, and we did that, and it was incredible. And the response from you guys we thought that we'd sell 3 t-shirts. I'm going to be completely honest.
Yeah.
The idea that like over 100 of you now have bought a t-shirt is just like really special, really special.
And we're still yet to see somebody out in the wild wearing them, but keep sending pictures in of you guys exploring. We've seen so many in DMs of people saying, oh, I've gone on this walk and then took a picture wearing it. It's exactly what we wanted to see, people out adventuring wearing the merch. So if you've got it, get out and about and take a little picture or two, even just messaging us. It doesn't have to go in the vlog, but we do love seeing people adventuring. And then with the shirt on, just an extra bonus.
So good. For anybody that doesn't know, we actually launched our caps just a couple of days ago. So we've got our Venture Club t-shirt and we've also now got caps. So Joel's not wearing it today, but if you head over to the website, you can actually see the caps.
What do you mean I'm not wearing it? Oh, this old thing?
It looks good on you.
Well, thank you very much. And then on the 12th of November, which is so recent, but we uploaded a video that is currently sat as our most viewed video on the channel with 136,000 views, which is astonishing. And it is 10 things that Australians don't realise are amazing. Now, when I uploaded that video, didn't think it was going to do as well as it did, but I really like to remember these milestones because when we revisit this video next year from 2026 into 2027, we're going to look on and see have these things changed, where were we up to, what's going on. So yeah, a pretty cool kind of milestone point. That's our biggest video. Let's see if anything changes in a year's time.
Moving on to December, started off that month doing a lot of the shop videos, visiting Australians that we've not been to before, like BCS, Costco, Anaconda. Yep. There's still quite a few that we've not done that you guys really want us to go to. If there is any, comment below. We've got our plan for our next one that we'll keep a little bit quiet for now. And then on the 15th of December, we phoned up my sister and surprised her with tickets to come and visit us here literally next month in February. So that is just going to be insane. We cannot wait to be like the Three Musketeers.
Bring on the good times.
And bring on the good times. And then on the 22nd of December, we started our New South Wales road trip, which is what we've just finished. That was incredible, being back in the sunny van again. We haven't been in it since May. You know that we love adventuring in that van. It's just, unbelievable, so fun. The idea that you can just, when you're tired, pull that van up, open the back at like wherever you want to be. Incredible. Like, that life is just amazing. Yeah. I envy anybody that lives in a van. It's very fun.
I enjoyed it, but I must be honest, I bumped my head a little bit too much.
Yeah, maybe not full time.
Cody could live in a matchbox. Me, I might have a couple of bruises on my head. And so that is 2025 wrapped up in a nutshell and how we spent our year. Let us know in the comment section how you spent your year or what was your highlight from your experiences last year. What did you get up to? Let us know and we will have a read of every comment. We make sure to read every single one that is commented down below. And now I want to take a little bit of time to explore 2026 and what we have in store for this year. Nearly said next year. It's present, but this upcoming year. As we currently sit, we have just passed 17,000 and something subscribers on the channel. The number of people that have joined us in this previous year, I believe, is 14,000 from when we started the year. So an absolutely astonishing amount of people. So welcome everybody, old and new. Let's continue the adventures and the journey and see where it gets us to. We've got a few plans in the works, but the big one that is set in stone at the moment is at the end of January and the start of February, Cody's sister Ella will be joining us in Australia and we cannot wait for that. As we've mentioned already, it's going to be a lot of fun and we have a lot planned, but let us know, is there anything you would want us to go and do with Ella? Get that in the comment section down below as we're still kind of building a little bit of a holiday itinerary of spots to go and see and hit when she comes. And then mine and Cody's birthdays are in March and May. So we usually try and get away and go and have a little experience or a holiday over these periods. So let us know, is there anywhere that you would recommend for us to go and visit in Australia, maybe outside of Australia, maybe New Zealand? Let us know what places are good to go and visit in March and May. And maybe that might be one of the series on the video of us going to one of these locations. A lot of people have said Tassie. Even just saying Tassie, I know that that's going to flare up everybody to say it. But are there any other spots as well? Let us know in the comment section. We are up and willing to go adventuring.
Also, a quick one on Tassie. I want to know where in Tassie. What should we do? How long for? Like, all these things are like my next kind of questions. So let us know because we are serious about getting these things booked and it's not far off. So let's get it booked.
Clocked a ticket.
Later in the year, we have got more family members not booked, but planning on coming out. So that's a little bit of a secret. I'm not going to say who. Oh my gosh.
As we're filming this video, one of the sulphur-crested cockies has just landed in the tree behind us. He's gone shy. But as Cody did mention, there are a few family members that are planning on coming out, but I'm not going to hold them to anything as of yet because obviously it's work dependent and I don't want to say for certain in case their plans don't manage to work out. But we would love to get them all out. We're going to be as accommodating as we can to get them out. But once we know, we'll announce it on the channel for certain.
And before we wrap up the video, we just want to say, let us know what kind of content that you have enjoyed for this last year and what you want to see coming up in 2026, because we do want to tailor the content around what you guys want to see. Do you want to see us go on more adventures? Do you like the road trips? Do you want to see us go out the country? Do you like seeing these sit-down videos and us discussing things, going to shops? Let us know what it is that you like to see. Is there any other ideas? Because we would love to hear it, taking everything on board, as you guys know, as always. But we just want to say a big thank you to everybody that has watched today's video. It's been really good to just sit here and reflect. After being on the road every single day for 2 weeks, we're ready for a sit down and a relax before Ella comes and visits in 3 weeks? Crazy, mental. But we just want to say a big thank you to the members. You guys are wonderful. And to anybody that's bought a shirt, there's been so many of you that's bought a shirt already in 2026. Thank you so much. Working very hard on getting your orders out and about. As you know, we do them ourselves. So yeah, thank you to everyone that has ordered. And we will see you in the next video because we are getting mozzie bit to death. So best make a move.
Look at this shoulder.
Jeez.
If there's anything I could wish for in 2026, it's less of these bites, please.
But anyway, guys, we'll see you in the next one.
Adios.
Bye.